I really hope that like someone other than Luther Vandross doesn't ruin your whole version of One Shining Moment.
I do too. It is a beautiful moment.
Because here's the thing, I have decided to write my own version of One Shining Moment for this bracket right
is
here.
Is this like your Bugs song you sang?
A little bit.
Kuechly?
And I'm going to like to just kind of do it right now for you, talking about the love of these sports movies that we have.
Wish you would have told me about this.
Yeah. The tape is in.
Oh, God. Hey, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, the Undrafted Free Agents Podcast. I'm Casey here with Rich.
What's going on, my friend?
We're back, man. We've taken a couple of weeks off.
Oh, the off season.
Yeah, it is the off season. Normally we talk mostly football, but now it is strictly like a rad show about sports and nostalgia. You know, we said that little tagline last time, and I feel like this week it is never more true.
No, not at all.
Than what we're talking about this week.
Absolutely.
Right in the middle of March Madness. Now we're finally down to the Final Four. My bracket is, I don't want to say busted. I've got two of the Final Four still alive.
Do you really?
Yeah, I got Oklahoma and North Carolina.
Oh, that's good. Okay, yeah, I have Oklahoma. That's it.
Okay. Yep. Literally nobody picked Syracuse to go to the Final Four.
Nope. Not even Jim Boeheim.
Jim Boeheim's mama, she's like, I think they're going out. They might win.
Mama Boeheim.
Yeah. She makes a mean cinnamon roll.
She does, man. And a pot roast to die for.
And I literally can't even remember the fourth. Villanova.
Yep.
They've been putting up a lot of points and playing really well.
I just really thought Kansas was going to get through that part. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, they've looked really good.
I've got UNC winning it all. I need them to win our bracket here at work with some folks.
Yeah. I'm starting to wonder, the way Buddy Held's playing with Oklahoma, I really think that they might go all the way. I'm rooting for North Carolina. As a kid, I always liked watching North Carolina basketball, but I don't know. I think they'll beat Syracuse, but Oklahoma's looking pretty solid.
Yeah, my pops went to NC State, so I grew up hating UNC with like the fiery passion of 1,000 STDs. Yeah. But so it hurt to pick them to win, but I did it. And you know what? I kind of think we've talked enough about actual basketball.
Yeah, like listen, no one listens to us to hear our opinion on sports.
They hear that.
Okay. They want to
know what they're talking about.
Yeah, you can get that from anybody.
Right.
You don't get this type of nonsense anywhere but the Undrafted Free Agent podcast.
First up, I want to let you know we are a part of the Pottern family now. Please check them out on Twitter. A lot of really interesting shows. I've been enjoying them. It's a good show. If you need something while you're mowing the lawn, just go in there, just dial something up. You'll find a good show. Hashtag Pottern Family on Twitter. And while you're on there looking at stuff, of course, please follow us at UDFA Podcast. March Madness, it is a time for making nonsensical brackets. So we thought, why not have a bracket for the best ever sports movie?
If you listen to this show long enough, we've mentioned every sports movie that's ever been made at some point during our show. We obviously have our favorites, but there's only one good way to ever settle a good debate, and that is with a bracket.
Right.
Brackets are always the best way to do that.
But you want to know something that was even tough was I made this bracket earlier, and I put more thought into it than you would imagine. We did a 32-team or movie bracket, and even that was, I felt like the selection committee with the NCAA tournament. Like I had to turn so many teams away.
Turning teams away, turning certain sequels away. I mean, that's a tough decision.
And since we released on Twitter this bracket this morning, I've gotten several movies here, 5 movies that people have messaged me about or said something to me about saying, how could you leave this movie off?
These were the movies that they were on the bubble, but they just missed.
Right.
Yeah.
Except for Love and Basketball. I really did consider all of these. The Replacements.
I do not like The Replacements. There it is. Not a fan.
It's a movie.
Yeah.
Love and Basketball, somebody mentioned that, which I've seen that, and it's not terrible, but it's
not worthy of the tournament.
What I'm looking for. Basketball.
Oh, no.
Teen Wolf. Teen Wolf is such a fun movie, but the sports aspect of Teen Wolf...
It's such a minor part of it.
It is, but it's hilariously bad. Everybody from the foul line shoots a jump shot.
I will say this. If we are doing a werewolf bracket, Teen Wolf is obviously the number 1 seed.
It is the number 1 seed.
Like
You're right. I feel pretty good. And Necessary Roughness. Crease actually brought that up to me. Like, how could you leave that off? That is a good movie. Sinbad.
It's
Kathy
a good
Ireland.
It is. First of all, it's on USA all the time.
I'm just remembering. I left off the program.
The movie that I was
made a cameo in.
I did. I played the head coach. No, I was in the crowd. That
scene was cut.
I was in the crowd during the program. But here's the thing. I have a soft spot in my heart for the program because I starred in the program.
Right.
But I don't know if it's worthy of these 32.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we haven't left a good one out, maybe, but this is a very solid 32 team/movie bracket.
Right. And I do agree with Kreese that Necessary Roughness is a good movie. And
great movie.
If nothing else, just for the line when Kathy Ireland gets knocked down after kicking a field goal and the guy says, "Welcome to football." She says, "Welcome to football." And then nails the guy.
Him. And then she's like, "You want the truth?" And he was like, "You can't handle the truth."
Pretty sure that was Jaws, buddy.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
that was Necessary Roughness.
That was a bad example.
Everyone knows that was Top Gun.
Yeah, we all love A Time to Kill.
That's what that's from, yeah. I do want to make it clear, we decided no combat movies. Yeah. Because, yes, Rocky is obviously a sports movie, The Karate Kid. But if we went with that, I'm pretty sure.
If we can do it right now, if you want to add in combat movies, all right, go. Karate Kid wins. I feel like that we pretty much spoiled
Rocky
the
whole
IV thing. Yeah, like it's just it wouldn't be fair. It wouldn't be fair. And again, this is strictly like you look at we're basically focusing on baseball, basketball, football, hockey,
golf,
soccer. I mean, I feel like, like those main sports that we have here. We left out all of the lacrosse movies, the cricket movies that were so popular.
Yeah, those,
wiffle ball, we left that one out.
Left out The Big Lebowski. That's a bowling movie, sort of.
We did leave out a good ball. Yeah, we could have done, actually, there's some pretty good bowling movies out there.
The Dude Abides. Oh, yeah. What is it when Bill Murray bowls the clear
Randy
ball?
Quaid
What the heck is that?
It's left me, and that's making
Woody Harrelson is just one arm.
This is embarrassing. Really, when we...
It didn't make the list.
When we edit this, we just need to overlay all of this with the word, the name of the movie. This is making me so mad.
It didn't make the list.
No, it did not.
Nonetheless. You're right, yeah, Randy Quaid, he's the Amish dude.
Yeah.
It was not a bad movie.
I know exactly the movie we're
talking about. But literally
about.
All the 32 on this list, I like better. And here's the way that I want to go through this, because it's difficult to decide what's a better movie, because, truth be told, The Natural might be the best. But what I'm thinking about on these, yes, you can think about just a great piece of cinema, but also I want to think, if it is a Sunday afternoon, in the off season, there's no football game Kingpin.
Thank you.
Of course it is.
Keep going.
There's no football on. There's no sports of any kind. There's nothing really good. Even the episode of House Hunters International that's currently on this rainy Sunday afternoon, you've already seen that one.
Yes.
So what is the movie you're going to pick on?
What are you watching?
FX or TBS. Yeah.
And I think it has to have staying power. It's one of those two. It's like, can you watch it over and over and not get too tired of it? So yeah, this is what we feel. And what's interesting here is that I've done a bracket.
I did a bracket.
You did a bracket.
Yep.
We are going to attempt, without coming to fisticuffs here,
no promises.
Yeah, a solid bracket that we can agree on and that you all can trash us about.
Yeah. So let's start up. And again, if you want to follow along at home, we've got the bracket printed out, or we sent it to our Twitter at UDFA Podcast. So print that and let's start up. The amazing thing is literally every single one of these matchups, even first round, is a tough one. Very first up, and I will tell you, I try to do a little bit of seeding, not throughout, but I did try to give 4 number 1 seeds and what I thought would be number 2 seeds.
Okay. Which you did not list on here, which I actually like, because I don't like the seeding bias when you're doing something like this. I like to just be able to pick it. So
okay.
Let's just start. Let's start it and let's see kind of where we go from here, because I'm interested. I feel like I know what you did with the first one, but Hoosiers versus Any Given Sunday.
Hoosiers, Any Given Sunday.
Jesse Spano is in Any Given Sunday.
Yeah.
But
aren't you quite against Any Given Sunday?
I'm not a huge fan of the movie. I like it fine.
Willie Beeman, I do like Willie Beeman.
No, he makes the ladies.
Yeah, keeps them dreaming and screaming. As a fellow Beeman,
he's your cousin Willie.
Right.
It's Hoosiers, right, Casey?
Absolutely. But I gotta say, the Al Pacino speech at the end, it's one of the greats. But yes, Hoosiers is... Right, it's one of these movies. It's one of those where you can say, even though it's not a great movie, it is definitely a great speech. Just like we've mentioned, Karate Kid 3, not a great movie.
And I thought it was casted really well too. I think the movie was casted cast well. I feel like Cameron Diaz had played a great role. Jamie Foxx, kind of one of his first serious roles. But
LL Cool J, he did it for you?
He did.
Okay.
Hoosiers, though, a classic. If you haven't seen Hoosiers, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Hey, I thought of an idea also. Throughout this, what would you think about the idea of each of us gets one trump card? Would you like that or dislike that? You use one time.
Yeah, I guess we could do that. Yeah.
That could make it interesting if there's one where we're
just adamantly against.
Yes.
Okay, I think that's fair.
Okay.
All right.
Next up, Days of Thunder, Friday Night Lights.
All right. We are dealing with the movie Friday Night Lights, not the TV show.
Right.
The TV show, if included in this, could have maybe run the entire table.
Right.
I'm going with Days of Thunder.
Yeah, me too. That's a Cole Trickle. That's an outstanding movie. It really is a great movie.
Yeah, Friday Night Lights, the movie, I did not like at all. That's why I was a little skeptical about the TV series. But I was wrong. Days of Thunder, fantastic. And one of those I have not seen in a long time.
Yeah.
And love to watch again. So
Yeah.
Days of Thunder advancing. Rookie of the Year versus Above the Rim.
I almost want to come back to this one. I kind of okay.
Well,
let's come back to this.
okay, all right. Caddyshack, Bad News Bears.
Okay. This is a little bit difficult because Caddyshack's a comedy. It had to be put on the list because it's clearly about a comedy on the golf course and in the clubhouse and whatnot. But I'm going to go Bad News Bears personally on this.
This is interesting because I feel like we may get some backlash. I feel like both these movies are very overrated. I do. I think that people...
Overrated, okay.
I do. I think people our parents' age absolutely love them. It's kind of like when my dad says, there's no better cast on Saturday Night Live than the original cast. And I'm like, don't get me wrong, it was great.
Yeah.
But it's not the best cast.
Yeah, we're partial to Farley and Will Ferrell and...
Yeah, some of the... I feel
I
like
almost said David Spade out loud. Isn't that cute?
Yeah, that'd have been embarrassing. So... You know what? I'm just going to go with Bad News Bears as well.
I quite enjoy Caddyshack in the comedy world.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Rodney Dangerfield's performance is just next level. But on sports movie, I love me some Bad News Bears.
All right. And the original much better than the remake. The remake was atrocious. So let's go. We're going with Bad News Bears advancing. Okay. Field of Dreams versus He Got Game.
Okay.
To me, this isn't even a contest.
He Got Game is an interesting movie. Denzel's always good, but sure, Field of Dreams is the answer.
Field of Dreams is that movie you just want to sit down and watch with your dad.
Right.
You can't wait to show your kids one day.
Yeah. That's the answer.
Yeah, it's Field of Dreams. What a great movie Field of Dreams is.
Jerry Maguire, Coach Carter. I feel like Coach Carter is a movie that's underrated.
Absolutely.
However, it's not beating Jerry Maguire.
So that's the problem with Coach Carter is I could have, like, conceivably, depending on where it fell in the bracket, I could see Coach Carter make it to, like, an Elite Eight or things like that. It's a very good movie, very underrated. I love Jerry Maguire.
Yeah, Jerry Maguire is good.
I will watch Jerry Maguire on Oxygen. I will watch it on Lifetime. I will watch it on Esquire. I will watch it on any network that it comes on. It's quotable. It's well acted. It's the only movie that Renee Zellweger is attractive in. It's got that cute little kid.
I'll give you that. You learn something, how much the human head weighs.
Yeah. I had no clue that bees smelled fear until I saw Jerry Maguire.
Right.
So Jerry Maguire, man, I love Jerry Maguire. And I'll tell you what, you look at a Jerry Maguire Field of Dreams matchup, that's going to get nasty.
Yeah, it is. Space Jam and A League of Their Own. I can go ahead and tell you, I showed this bracket to my wife, and she just kind of glanced at it, and she's like, I don't even really have to think about this. A League of Their Own. Yeah.
Yeah. I love A League of Their Own.
Yeah, I'm definitely picking that over Space Jam.
I am too. Space Jam too. I showed that to my son about a year ago, and it's a little rough.
Is it?
It's a little rough. They're supposed to be remaking it.
Yeah, they are with LeBron. I really liked the soundtrack to it.
Yeah, everyone owned it.
Every single person
owned it.
Soundtrack. Yeah. Remember the Titans, Happy Gilmore. Another thing, 2 great movies. Actually, what I mentioned, these are 2 that come on like a FX. But, Sunday afternoon.
This is very much to me like the Bad News Bears Caddyshack conversation in a slight way. You're dealing with a comedy and a classic sports movie. If you love sports movies and you want to be motivated and to run through a brick wall, it's Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
No, Remember the Titans taking it. And I do love Happy Gilmore. Absolutely love it. But I've got Remember the Titans.
But that's the sports movie you were talking about there, right?
Exactly.
No. Yeah, absolutely. Remember the Titans. It's just a great sports movie. And I could see it going quite far in this.
Are you wanting to go back
let's
up
go.
here?
Let's go ahead and go back to it. Rookie of the year at above the. I guess it's not at. It's
yes.
It's a neutral site.
It is.
It's a neutral site matchup.
Yeah. Well, they're playing. It's in the Midwest.
Okay. Rookie of the year above the rim. I am an enormous fan of both of these movies. When I was a kid, we some friends and I tried to sort of remake Rookie of the Year. We changed the characters. We got Dad's camcorder, went out to a baseball diamond and tried to write a script and make a movie until we realized, oh, hey, it's lunchtime. Let's go do something else.
I'm hungry.
Yeah. Above the Rim is a movie that, with my buddies, we just watched on repeat over and over again because it was so good.
Oh, it was fantastic. Yeah, both
Bernie
of these,
Mac, Tupac.
They're two completely different aspects of like me growing up. You know what I mean? Maybe it's the nostalgia factor. Rookie of the Year, by the way, is always the movie I go to when I'm telling like somebody a fake story. Like I do this all the time. Like I'll be telling somebody like, "Did you play baseball as a kid?" I was like, "Yeah, I did. Actually, I was a pitcher, and one day I was actually used to play in the outfield." And I go through the whole plot
Just to see if they're going to figure it
like
out.
how long they can figure it out. So
Like, wow, that's a...
So, Case, this one's going to be tough.
Do you go as far as to say, like, and I was like, funky butt loving.
My favorite line from Rookie of the Year still, at the very start, is where Henry's like, they've got to put me in. Like, it's either me or Windermere. And it's Windermere, and he's sneezing in the outfield, and the coach is going, Windermere, get in here. Don't complain about no asthma. I just love that line. Casey, for me, it's Rookie of the Year, and I don't know what you put.
I jotted down Above the Rim.
Okay.
And I think a lot of it is so much that goes into that movie in addition to the movie. It was the fact that regulators
Mount up.
came from this.
Yeah.
You know, we had the terribly disappointing moment. You know, we're in the lunchroom on our way to do this podcast and talking to a kid that we know. And he said, "Hey, I liked your list, but what is that movie Above the Rim? I've never heard of it." I said, "Come on."
Yeah, like you've never
Warren
heard of
G.
a movie?
Nate Dogg, Regulate. And he said, nothing.
See, that's worse than not knowing the movie. To me, is not knowing the song Regulate.
If you don't know the movie Above the Rim, okay, that's fine.
Sure.
But I just picture it, even with the CD that I had for the purpose of Regulate and an SWV song on it. Also, there was just, you picture that on the video, or excuse me, the movie like poster there on the soundtrack. And anything that includes the song Regulators, it was in the music video. I feel like that gives it an extra little boost. I'm not going to fight you on it. But that's what I picked. I picked Above the Rim.
So what do you want to do? Above the Rim, Rookie of the Year? That's really tough because I'll be honest, I'm not sure how far either one of these are going to advance in the long run. At least I know on my bracket, I would go with Rookie of the Year, but I can give you Above the Rim.
Either one of them is going to win the next round. I'll tell you that much.
I completely agree.
Okay.
I completely agree. But then I think it could get dicey.
All right. How about if, Casey, I'm going to use my trump card.
All right, you want to go with Above
Let's
the Rim?
go Above the Rim.
That's fine. We're going with Above the Rim. I don't have any problem with that.
Yeah. Because...
that's a tough first round matchup. Yeah. These are the tough decisions that have to be made when you're dealing with this.
You see, it was a clear black night, a clear white moon.
I've told
Richard and I were trying to consume.
I've told you this many times that in college we would just use Regulate just in part of our everyday conversation. Yeah. And they'd be like, "Hey, what have you been doing?" And I would just say, "Oh, I just slapped a gang of hoes over there on the curb." and if you didn't understand what I was talking about, we weren't friends. Yeah. All right, man, we got a ways to go here. Yeah. Other side of the bracket here, we'll speed up a smidge bit. We got Rudy versus Blue Chips. This is a no contest to me.
This might be the only one in the whole thing that I don't really have to think twice about.
No, it's Rudy, right? Yeah. Okay, good. I remember seeing Blue Chips in theaters and being really disappointed. Rudy, great. And Natural versus White Men Can't Jump.
Both good movies, both
great
extremely different. The Natural is just too good of a movie.
It is. It's such a good movie. And Natural versus Rudy... I don't even...
All-time greats.
I don't even know what I'm going to do there. I'm interested what you see here.
I can't even.
Yeah.
Invincible, Ladybugs.
See, nostalgia wants me to say Ladybugs, right? Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of people that don't like Invincible. I love Invincible.
I thought it was a great movie.
It makes me think I might be able to make a football team.
Right, and we know that's so untrue, but
Yeah.
like Ladybugs is a movie. Okay, if these were two movies on a Sunday afternoon, I might flip on Ladybugs just in a like, wouldn't it be hilarious if we watched Ladybugs?
Yes.
Kind of a way.
Yeah, and I do feel like Rodney Dangerfield, after a little while, can kind of grate on you a little bit. I'd pick Invincible.
There's a kid on my son's soccer team I'm helping coach, and there's a kid named Tomas that is, I reference he's like Jonathan Brandis on the team just because he's just running around.
He's just a gamer.
Yeah. Also, he wears a wig, so that's kind of weird.
It's kind of odd, you know.
Invincible, you feel good about that?
I do.
Okay.
I like that one a lot. I feel even better about this next one because Sandlot versus Tin Cup. Mm-hmm. I love Tin Cup. Tin Cup makes me angry.
The end of the movie in Tin Cup, that's just having the guts and the have to.
Oh, you have to.
Referencing a little Rookie of the Year talk.
Oh, man.
Getting the have to, and Kevin Costner's going for it. But the Sandlot is the winner.
It's where the fear lives. yeah, it's the Sandlot. The Sandlot to me is an all-time classic.
Daniel Stern in Rookie of the Year. That's just another.
If we're doing a
real performance,
if we decide to do some sort of like Oscar type thing, like best actor, best supporting actor in a sports old school movie is Daniel Stern as Lou Brigma.
Yeah,
I mean absolutely. Miracle Angels in the Outfield. We got two. Oh gosh, man, I don't know. If you're going on what's a better movie.
Better sports movie.
To me, it hurts. It's Miracle.
Yeah.
Because that story in real life is so amazing.
Right.
And I love Angels in the Outfield. Angels in the Outfield, to me, I would put that over tons of the movies, even maybe above us in other parts. But if going with the matchup...
That's what the selection committee did, man.
Listen, no one said this was going to be easy or fair. I want people to get mad about that. I want people to write in and be like, you're stupid. This is Outfield. But
this is Indiana versus Kentucky in round 2.
Exactly. The Miracle's fantastic.
Varsity Blues Major League, that's a tough matchup, man.
See...
Varsity Blues Major League.
I have a feeling we're going to disagree on this one.
Okay, you got a trump card to use.
I do. I don't know if I want to use it, though. I'm going to pick Major League.
Okay, I picked Varsity Blues, but...
Okay, and I love Major League. Mm-hmm. And I love... Varsity Blues is great. It's so hokey in certain parts.
Yeah.
Whereas... And Major League's hokey, too. But Major League was one of those, like... It was risque at the time, back when it was done, and the characters in Major League, and just using an actual team like the Indians to portray the whole thing, I would pick Major League.
Okay, let's go with Major League then. Okay. Both are great movies. Varsity Blues is one of those, it's kind of like the movie Point Break, or anything with Nicolas Cage.
Exactly.
It might be, or like Con Air, like it might be a good movie, but actually we've had this discussion before about, what was it? Was it Friday Night Lights, the show? I said it's a good bad show. Yeah, that's what.
And we've disagreed, but I will say that
Varsity
Blues is a great horrible movie.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
How about the single most confusing part is after they win the game, they're in a state it's not even a championship game. It is a playoff game. They make it clear they're going into a playoff game at the end of the movie. They win the game.
He said he never plays again.
He says none of us ever played football again.
Yeah.
Well, what about the next week?
Did you just forfeit it?
Yeah.
What about all the other players on those teams? Like, just because you hated the coach doesn't mean everyone else did at the time. Yeah. I mean, like, these guys deserve
Lance Harbor, let him head coach next week.
Yeah, bad decisions. For a guy who's smart enough to get into Brown, I feel like that was a pretty stupid decision.
Did they not have any assistant coaches where the senior in high school is going to head coach the second half?
There's also like 17 people in that entire football team.
Right.
Wes Canaan.
The Coyotes. Blindside.
Hold up, real quick.
Yeah.
When Bud Kilmer says, tonight we play Bangville. Tonight we beat Bangville. What a great speech.
It's good.
You know what they did? They beat Bangville.
They did. They saw Tweeter's new end zone dance too.
Have you seen it?
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen the dance. Next up, we got The Blind Side and The Little Giants.
I'm going with The Little Giants.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
Yeah, but you probably went Blindside.
I went Blindside.
I'll do either, and I'm not going to argue on either one because of how it lies within our bracket.
Yeah. I wonder if part of it matters because I'm a Panthers fan and Michael Orr is a Panther.
Maybe. Oh, that couldn't. Oh well, it's pro or con. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I love both movies. Little Giants holds a special place in my heart, but if you want to go Blindside, I'll go Blindside.
I picked the Blind Side, but I really don't care about this one.
Let's go Blindside.
Neither one of them are advancing.
They're not, because Bull Durham.
Bull Durham is, again,
I love Bull Durham.
I grew up Eastern North Carolina. I went to see the Durham Bulls quite a time or two, and I really enjoy that movie. Sure. I think Bull Durham is...
It's very underrated.
I am one of the few people that likes Bull Durham more than Major League.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I really just... I've seen it more times, I guess.
I can see why. But to me, Mighty Ducks had such an impact on my childhood.
Here's a question. Should I have said D2? I kind of put it down there like the Mighty Ducks franchise.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. D2 is... it's not like they're like Oscar-winning movies, Mighty Ducks, but D2 adds that goofy sequel factor to it. Mighty Ducks, man, that's just a great movie. Yeah. I feel like the hours that I spent rollerblading around, that's garage, man, it made so many kids hockey fans that weren't. I feel like the NHL owes a huge gratitude to the Mighty Ducks. I'm not even joking. I mean, they had Disney owned a franchise.
Right.
So we're in agreement it's the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, absolutely. And it didn't necessarily make me a fan, but it made me, I got some rollerblades and we played in the street. Absolutely. A la, Wayne's World style, like, car coming, game off.
Game on.
Game on. But yeah, there's no other movie really that maybe Little Giants had you throwing teepee rolls like a football.
But I loved football so much before Little Giants. But when Mighty Ducks came along, it was a game changer.
Absolutely.
All right, Casey. So we are now into the Sweet 16. We're gonna have to kind of look into this here, but let's start back over. Let's go Hoosiers versus Days of Thunder. Okay.
Yeah.
It's Hoosiers.
Yeah,
I mean, Hoosiers. We don't need to waste too much time with this one. It's definitely Hoosiers.
And here's the thing. At this point, we've already pretty much talked about each of these movies. I think at this point now we can just kind of move on with what we think.
Yeah. Above the Rim versus Bad News Bears. In this matchup, where I would have had Rookie of the Year keep going, I'm going to have Above the Rim keep going as well. So, Above the Rim versus Hoosiers, little basketball matchup going on there. Field of Dreams versus Jerry Maguire.
That's difficult.
That is extremely... Let's go.
Technically, I've got Field of Dreams as a 1 seed in this. If you can tell the way that they're drawn.
If it were me, I catch some flack for this. I'm going with the upset. I'm going with Jerry Maguire.
That's what I picked.
Okay, I love Jerry Maguire. Might get made fun of for that. It's not that I don't like Field of Dreams.
Jay Moore.
Oh, gosh. Look,
anytime you get him involved.
Anytime I can sing Kush Lash.
Yes.
I really feel like that
this cast is outstanding too.
Oh, it's unbelievable. All right, A League of Their Own versus Remember the Titans.
These are both awesome movies.
Yeah, Remember the Titans, I feel like, takes it in my book.
That's what I picked.
And I think me and you, I don't know, that's going to be an interesting Elite Eight because I see we can maybe disagree on that. All right. Heading on to the other side of the bracket, Rudy and The Natural.
Both classics.
I would go with Rudy. I have no problem with The Natural.
The problem with The Natural really is, if you want to say the best movie on this list, it's either The Natural or Hoosiers. The problem is, after you've seen The Natural 2 or 3 times, when it's on, because it's kind of slow for a bit of it, it's not something that you just want to pop in and catch up on and watch. So, but I definitely would watch to see Fat John Favreau in Rudy.
Fat Row.
Right.
Yes.
Is that what it is?
And Vince Vaughn's oh yeah, Vince Vaughn was in Rudy. That's always a fun one.
That's why I like anytime I watch Zoolander and you see Vince Vaughn as his brother.
Yeah. You're like, that's weird. So are we going with Rudy?
Yeah, go with Rudy.
All right, we're going with Rudy. Invincible versus Sandlot.
Invincible is a great movie.
It's no Sandlot, though.
What?
Sandlot.
Yeah. Sandlot is the winner on this one.
Okay. All right, so we're in agreement there. Miracle and Major League.
I'm going Miracle.
I think I would too.
Sports movie?
On just straight up movie. And I think that one we might get a lot of flack for this.
Miracle's such a good movie.
Miracle is great. And I think there's a lot of people need to watch it again, too. Yeah. I feel like it gets better every time I watch it.
If you haven't been able to tell, my 1 seeds were Hoosiers, Rudy, Miracle, and Field of Dreams.
Yeah. And so...
Well, 1 seed's already been knocked off by Jerry Maguire.
But hey...
That's the game. Michigan State lost first round. MTSU.
Blindside versus Mighty Ducks. It's Mighty Ducks.
Absolutely.
It's Mighty Ducks. We've got a solid Elite Eight here that we're looking at.
And I'm feeling good about this. None of these have me all prickly.
No. I feel like we will agree here. Are you going with Hoosiers over above the rim?
Yes.
Okay, we're talking, and this is great basketball versus basketball. I think we can agree that Hoosiers, man, Final Four, no upsets here. I mean, Hoosiers, I think, maybe the 1 seed overall in this whole thing. We're going to go back to this one, Casey. Let's go back to this.
Jerry Maguire and Rudy, Remember the Titans. We'll come back to it.
So, Rudy and the Sandlot.
Okay.
Tough matchup here.
I got to go with my heart.
It's the Sandlot.
It's the Sandlot.
Yes, I agree. When Ray Charles, when they've got the Ray Charles version of America the Beautiful and they're looking up at those fireworks, that's the moment where you're just like your whole childhood.
Have you watched it with your son yet?
I have not.
They love it.
You know, it's funny, like all of these movies, I feel like I own the VHS to almost all of these. And I feel like you just go back, you got to watch it in VHS, you got to adjust the tracking, and it just lets me be able to watch and remember like playing ball as a kid and doing these fun things and having all these dreams of being involved in athletics.
And assaulting the lifeguard. Remember that?
All those things.
You fake drowning.
All those things happen. But none of those things ever came true for me. I never played any sort of sport past high school. Yeah. And I feel like I can live my childhood through these movies. And Sandlot is the one I feel like more than anything.
I totally agree. My friends and I, we played lots of wiffle ball. We would use, we made a bat, we got a wiffle ball bat and just covered it in every kind of tape to make it really, really strong. And we would use tennis balls.
Oh, yeah.
The perfect pitch on a wiffle ball, it's hard to accomplish, but if you can do it. The problem is the ball can't go very far, and we wanted to use more of a field. We would go to a baseball field and play, and we had a lot of fun, and it definitely reminds me of that.
Absolutely. Also that great scene, a movie that did not make our list here, Little Big League, a fantastic movie. Oh,
wow, yeah, that is a good one.
It'd be hard to fit into this bracket, but when he goes, he's been managing the Twins, but he's playing stickball, and he remembers... like, kind of, maybe I just need to be a kid. Another great moment. Man, they don't make movies like this anymore. Okay, Miracle versus Mighty Ducks. A little hockey on hockey action here. But I think if you would have told me what is more realistic, the United States to beat the Russians or the Ducks to beat the Hawks, it was much more realistic for America to beat the Russians than it would have been for the Ducks to beat the Hawks. Right? I mean... The job that Gordon Bombay did with that ragtag.
But do you credit that to Gordon Bombay, or should more credit lie in the hands of Adam Banks? Because the team still sucked out loud when he was still the coach. He was having them, take falls,
cake eater,
cheat. But once he did some research and found out that Adam Banks was now in District 5, now that's when the team, everything changes.
It made a huge difference. And I'll tell you what, you can't also take into backwards. Like, Bombay played for Coach Riley.
Yeah.
So he obviously knows the system.
Bombay was a Hawk.
Are we going with Mighty Ducks here?
Mighty Ducks, no question.
All right, Mighty Ducks. All right, Casey. Jerry Maguire versus Remember.
You know what I feel good about is on my bracket, I've got Hoosiers, Sandlot, Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, I do too.
And
all right, this is where I think it's going to get interesting.
Okay.
Because I'm going to guess that you picked Remember the Titans.
Yes.
I picked Jerry Maguire.
Okay.
Okay. But I don't have any issue with either one. I know that sounds weird because I think we've said that a lot, but they're such good movies. And really I'm actually going to change mine here because what's a better movie? I think Jerry Maguire is a better movie than Remember the Titans. I think that Remember the Titans is a better sports movie than Jerry Maguire.
That's the thing, is Jerry Maguire, there's so much more about it. There's honestly not a ton of sports stuff. Yeah, you get to see Rod Tidwell, playing and stuff. And we obviously really like any of the draft talk and the stuff the night before the draft.
Yeah.
But, and we felt for him when he lost the number 1 draft pick the night before the draft.
Oh, man.
But
he said his word was as strong as oak. Yeah. That's what Frank Cushman said.
I'm still kind of moved by your word is strong as oak thing. But Remember the Titans, that is sports start to finish. Start to finish. And it's definitely what I'm thinking.
It deals with bigger issues. It deals with a lot of stuff. Yeah, I'm changing mine on the fly. Remember the Titans.
So we got a Final Four of Hoosiers going up against Remember the Titans. The Sandlot and the Mighty Ducks. Wow, we've got a battle of childhood favorites.
We've got basketball, football, baseball, and hockey all represented. Look at that.
That is next level.
Who knew?
Didn't plan it like that, but we got all the sports represented.
That's why we're the best in the business right here. That's why they pay us the big bucks.
So do you want to look at this real quick? We've got
absolutely, man.
Let's start with the Sandlot versus the Mighty Ducks.
Oh, both of them came out about the same time, I think. In our life. Benny the Jet Rodriguez was in both of them, and he was in D2.
Yeah,
in different ways. It's the Sandlot for me.
Okay.
That's just me. I feel like just in terms of a great sports movie, I'm going to coming of age movie. I'm going with the Sandlot.
And you go ahead and tell me who you've got in Hoosiers versus Remember the Titans.
It's funny. I love Hoosiers. I love Remember the Titans. I know it might sound weird that I would have had Jerry Maguire beat Remember the Titans originally, but I changed it. But really thinking about it, I might just go with Remember the Titans here.
Yeah.
The more I really think about it, maybe too. I hate to say this, but Hoosiers. It is a bit older, so the acting gets a little rough in certain parts. I'll say Remember the Titans versus Sandlot.
It's funny, they both have a little bit. There's the drunk dad in Hoosiers, and then there's the racism in Remember the Titans.
Yeah, in the town.
They've both got your little PBS moment that we've got to, we learn through, but still. So you have got now the Sandlot.
And Remember the Titans would be my pick.
Okay. Is this what you have? What did you have on your bracket?
I had
when you filled it all out.
I had Jerry Maguire versus Sandlot. I had Jerry Maguire versus Sandlot. That's my final.
I will show you. I also selected the Sandlot over the Mighty Ducks.
Okay, you did.
I selected Remember the Titans over Hoosiers.
Okay, so we've had some disagreements. Though that's we're pretty in line with this.
A little painful just because I've loved Hoosiers since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
One of the best movies.
Okay, so we are saying Sandlot
and Remember the Titans are two of the best sports movies of all time. I didn't even pick a winner because with these two, I just don't know which direction to go. And I want to know, what do you think? Do you think we pick a winner? Do we put this out there and let other people select, or what?
I feel like we owe it to the audience to pick a winner, but it
is tough.
If I had to pick a winner, I'm going with the Sandlot.
Best ever sports movie.
And this is a big for me because when I said a minute ago, if I had to rank my favorite sports, and we have on this list, of the 4 sports represented in our Final Four, baseball's my least favorite of the sports. I like baseball. It's my least favorite of the ones. But the Sandlot, this kid moves into this new town. He has no friends. He's a dingus. He's a doofus. This kid accepts him.
A goofus.
A goofus.
Don't be a goofus.
Don't be a goofus. With that big old hat.
Yeah.
And Benny the Jet, takes him into the group. All the stuff, like I said, the Ray Charles.
He's got one hell of a mustache too there at the end. Benny the Jet.
He really does.
Plays for the Dodgers as just a pinch runner, I guess.
I guess he was coming in to be, but you know what? That's a good way to earn a living.
Pinch running, yeah.
So
Benny the Jet.
Yeah, I am going with the Sandlot. That's me.
Oh, and Darth Vader's in the movie too. You gotta love that.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, James Earl Jones makes any movie better.
Coming into this, just looking at the bracket at first, I thought, Remember the Titans is going to win this thing. My first thought was Hoosiers.
Yeah.
And down.
I would have had the Sandlot winning it just right off the bat.
Yeah. Yeah, my first thought would have been Hoosiers. That's why I put them number 1 seed overall. But going through it, my first thought was Remember the Titans. But you know what? As we talk about it here, let's call Sandlot the best sports movie ever.
I think we can. I think we can call Sandlot. And again, there's so many great movies on this list, but I don't know if you can basically say, can you argue against the Sandlot? I'm not saying you can argue. You can argue for
let me remind you of something real quick before you show your son. It does have a couple of instances where you're like, oh, I forgot that he curses loudly right there.
Sure.
Not a huge deal, but when you've got your 4-year-old right there, and what does that mean?
Yeah. They ask lots of questions.
Yeah.
They ask a lot of questions.
This was a lot of fun, Colin, and I love that we got a little resolution here. We came together and agreed the Sandlot is the best ever sports movie.
We agreed more than I thought we would, too.
And you know what? Everybody go to Target. You can find like one of those neat tees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's got a kid. Actually, we were out the other day. My son saw
flyers.
A kid. It's Ham taking the catcher's mitt off, and you can see him saying, "Play ball." You can just tell. So I say, my
one.
son looked. He's like, "Hey, I like your shirt." Said that to a stranger the other day. I was proud for him. That
Got in his van, got us some candy.
It was I just love the tournament every year. Outside of World Cup soccer, the tournament and the Super Bowl, obviously.
March Madness
is just where it's at every single year, whether you pay attention or not.
Yeah, and the best part of March Madness, I feel like when it's all said and done,
at
the very end, it's one shining moment, right?
Oh God, it is a truly beautiful moment that Luther Vandross touches my soul. Do you remember when they had who was it sing it a couple years ago? It was one of the American Idol girls, Jennifer. What the crap's her name?
Was it Jordan Sparks?
No. It was Jennifer something or other.
I don't know.
What the heck is her name?
Love Hewitt.
Yeah. It was Jennifer Love. I don't remember
her
name. But they had somebody else record it for this particular year. It was awful. It ruined my entire March.
Casey, I really hope
CBS.
Yeah. I really hope that someone other than Luther Vandross doesn't ruin your whole version of One Shining Moment.
I do too. It is a beautiful moment.
Because here's the thing. I have decided to write my own version of One Shining Moment. For this bracket right here.
Is this like your Bugs song you sang?
A little bit.
Kuechly?
And I'm going to just kind of do it right now for you, talking about the love of these sports movies that we have.
Wish you would have told me about this.
Yeah. The tape is in.
Oh, God.
Your antique VCR. You're living vicariously like a movie sports star. In all these years, everybody knows the 90s created the best sports shows, 'cause one shining moment, your childhood's reborn. In one shining moment, your athletic hopes, they are restored. Like Rod Tidwell and Coach Gordon Bombay, it's Charlie Tweeter and Becky the Icebox O'Shea. All of these amazing stars, they set your heart on fire. You want to throw a pitch like Henry Rowan Garner.
Wow.
Yeah. Shining moment, your childhood's reborn. One shining moment, your athletic hopes, they are restored.
That is... I am without words. I am speechless.
Listen.
I'm without speech.
Parody songs are kind of my jam.
That was sort of Rebecca Black Friday bad. Metallica Saint Anger bad. Yet it was also I got to throw it up there with, because you kind of touched my soul a little bit.
Little bit.
Inside, I'm just crying a little, but it's those tears at the end of Miracle, you know?
Yes.
And
it's like tears of joy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was up there, I gotta say.
Gets his contract and he says to Jerry, "You are my ambassador, Aquan."
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I forget who it was. I heard somebody reference having the dollars in the community and everything. And why didn't they mention the Quan? That should be a word that athletes use.
The Quan.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to make the cuspit together.
Good word.
Oh,
but that's up there with Weird Al, Eat It.
I think that was pretty good.
You know, when he parodies New Kids on the Block, the white stuff in the middle of an Oreo.
Amish Paradise.
Rio. Yes. That was next level, my friend. Well done.
Well, listen,
Modern Family's lucky to have us.
I was about to say, this was fun. Expect more great things like that from kind of our fun kind of different version of the UDFA podcast. I think it's a lot of fun. So,
all right, guys, again, please check us out on Twitter at UDFA Podcast and let us know. Give us a little bit of feedback. Tell us what you think about this. Do you disagree that Sandlot is the greatest sports movie ever? And what do you think about Richard's song?
Yeah.
I really didn't know that was coming, so that's a bit of a surprise.
Hey, you were welcome.
Hashtag Potter Family. Check us out there. We're the Undrafted Free Agents Podcast. See?
You're killing me, Smalls.